Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. GF got married behind my back. Story. My ex-GF of 5 years got married behind my back after cheating on me for over a year. Last night life hit me in the face. On Thursday morning my ex-GF went out of her way to wake up and bring me a cup of coffee before leaving for work. We only see each other on the weekends due to my work schedule, so this is something special. This was the day before her 22nd birthday, which is today. She told me right before she left to wish her a happy early birthday in person. We usually message throughout the week, which I didn't, gave her a kiss. I watched her as she drove off for the very last time. Throughout the day was a normal day for us. We messaged back and forth and checked up on one another. She had told me she was gonna stop by her aunt's house before going home so she could grab some gifts and have dinner. She messaged me that she made it there at 5:30 p.m. Well, some time went by and I didn't hear from her, so I messaged her again. I later went to check Facebook to find a random friend request from a stranger, we'll call him A. So, A proceeded to message me this exact text: "I know you don't know me, but this is about XGF. I just went through her phone and saw you in her Facebook Messenger and read your messages. I'm not used to having conversations with people about things like this cause I'm aggressive, but I'll just try this convo shit. Me and her have been dating for almost a year and just got married last week. I'd if you know this or?" I later proceeded to message my ex again and she replied, "This is A. I have her phone, I'm in lost, so I call her only to hear a man confirming to be A. He tells me that my ex-GF left her phone in his car while she stayed at his place and he had her phone throughout the night and went through it only to find out about me. He tells me how they have been dating over the past year and get married. And how she's been lying to her family and me and managed to keep it a secret for so long. At this point I'm in shock and words can't come out of my mouth. He told me he thought me and ex were not together anymore because she said I moved out of state, a complete lie. I then tell him how we've been dating for over 5 years and how everything seemed so well. She lied about her work schedule and where she was at. Every single bit of me didn't want to believe it. I told him to send me proof and he sent me a recording of him going through her pictures, and I'm just watching my ex-GF posing in multiple pictures with some random dude. I later called her aunt to confirm that my ex did show up and she said she did at 12:30 p.m. My ex-GF told me she was there at 5:30 p.m. My body went numb and knots in my stomach. I feel like a complete dumbass. I've never been in a situation like this before with my ex-GF of 5 years where I was nothing but good to her and her family gone in a matter of seconds. Later that night I got a text from my ex, some pathetic ass sorry that truly shows she did not care for me. I am having trouble sleeping and feel empty stomachs that make me sick. I have cut all contact with her and plan to keep it that way. I don't have many friends and I just feel so lonely in this world that the girl meant the world to me. I treated her like a goddess, sacrificed so much for her only to end up like this, broken heart." Well, that is a unique situation. In essence, she was cheating on you both. I'm puzzled how long she intended to maintain that charade. In fact, I told him that they both were boyfriends and affair partners. Schrodinger's cat is nothing compared to this serial cheating gal. I doubt she's married. I agree. What do you mean? Please explain. I think he means that the husband is just a friend of hers or an affair partner who says they are married so that she can end the relationship without contacting him. Possibly? Depending on the state, this can easily be verified online with public records. Sick, selfish person. You need to follow up and hear her verbally confirm this. Can you do a find your phone? This might let you know where she and or Ray is. It sounds like all you have to go on are a bunch of bizarre texts sent from her phone, and Facebook messages from a stranger. Is it possible her phone was stolen or found, and someone is just ducking with you? Is it possible that she's in danger right now? You need to follow up. I second this. Something seems off. Unless this girl is psycho or something, I'd try to at least hear her voice to make sure she's safe. Why would he need to when the proof is too clear? If something is wrong with her, then why would she have gotten contact with the aunt a few hours later? It's not impossible for someone to do this, as this is going on with several people in the world as we speak. I think the ex was with the aunt at noon, but he was told it was 5:30 in the evening. I'm not doubting that it's possible. But I've personally been victim to something very similar. So I'm worried about my ex as well. And the pics with him and girl? The guy that did it to me was a friend before he went crazy. Anything is possible. Op commented, but it was removed by the automod cause he used degrading language. He said he talked to her and she confirmed it. Lamau, y'all watch too much TV. This guy had tons of pictures with her. Not to mention Op only saw her on weekends and she lied about her work schedule and when she was meeting her aunt. So this is totally possible, and definitely more likely than whatever true crime y'all have cooked up. Hollywood and love ballads have primed the men of this generation so much that they think out of 4 billion women, she is the only one for him. Hey Op, your reply was spot on. She's all the things you told her and more. She's a serial cheater, and serial cheats are dishonest, liars, manipulators, cons, selfish, and cowards. They're not only broken people, they're bad too. That tone of voice you heard is the real her. The mask has slipped, and now you can see who she really is. A serial cheating monster. She may have psychopathic, narcissistic traits, so be very smart if you'll have to deal with her again, preferably not. You should tell to families and friends what she did. Indeed, for these people the only thing that counts is their reputation. Destroy it, nuke it. A Hiroshima-sized atomic bomb is in place for the reputation of this kind of person. The other man is probably a victim too. Indeed, it seems he's been played, so you should give him all the evidence he needs to divorce her on the spot. I second this. Here. Tell everyone what she did. She deserves no compassion at all for what she did. The other man is indeed a victim. But he is planning to be her doormat and stay with her. You wasted 5 years but you got out safe. This one is a true psychopath. But it's also a lying, cheating street-grade animal. The two aren't mutually exclusive. I don't believe anything these people are telling you. The only real truth here is that you are much better off without this lying, psychotic monster in your life. It hurts now, but think how much more it would have hurt having to divorce this later on. Reach out to friends and any family you do have. It's probably not the best idea for you to be alone right now. This sounds creepy. Are you sure it's her texting you an apology? I listen to too many true crime podcasts, I guess. Sorry dude for your loss, but feel lucky that you didn't marry that woman who lives a double life. She did behind your back for a year. She's married or not we don't know, but she did cheat on you for the whole year. So you dodge a bullet by not getting married to this woman. I'm sorry you're going through so much. You need yourself right now. Look after yourself, eat healthy, exercise, which should also help you go to sleep. Understand this is not because you were not enough that she cheated, but because she's not worthy of you. You shouldn't lose yourself over a person like that, and you should stick it to her by moving on quickly and finding happiness from within. You'll definitely meet a good woman when you're at a good place with yourself. Don't give up for anyone, ever. I hope you stay healthy and well. Peace. Something about this doesn't add up. It's almost as if the A person is a stalker or she is being blackmailed into being his wife. But something is way off toe. Just expose that cheater. Family, friends, working place, mutual friends. They definitely know what type of woman she's married to a secret and destroys another innocent man's life. This exposure saved another innocent person's life from that cheater in future. Expose her. Cut her all contacts. In the future you will definitely get the best loyal life partner, and that time she's lost good BF. Karma will deal with her. Sucks for him. This is what you call a major red flag because she is keeping secrets from you and him. Congratulations, you didn't marry her and dodged a bullet. Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face, party popper, party popper, party popper, party popper, birthday cake, birthday cake, birthday cake, drum, trumpet, violin, musical notes, musical notes, musical notes, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. She's 22, full-blown maturity happens at around 25, by the time she's 30, she'll be divorced and single. Take your time to establish yourself in a good career, then get married when you're older and wiser. Thank you. No problem, I was in your boat once, but you have to understand, your short existence on this earth has not been played out yet. You hold the controls of it, so spend this time staying away from shady people like her and work on yourself. If you work at a shit job, get certified, get your CDA, learn a trade or go to college. Work out, eat healthy, and become a high-value man. You're, no offense, just a kid in the big picture of things. You have plenty of time, just don't waste the time you have. Good luck. Op, is her husband going to leave her? Really sad and messed up story. I feel for you. A person that can do that is not a person you want in your life. You did not know. You did nothing wrong. I would recommend some sort of grief counselor. The church I go to does this for people who have had a loved one die, and I think what you are going through is very much like a death. I pray that God will grant peace to you, and quickly. Wow. This is one of the crazier ones I've read. I know it may not seem like it now, but later you will look back on this and be so glad you dodged this bullet, my friend. I don't know if this is any consolation, but better A than you. The other guy's married to her, he has more mess to deal with. But you are right, as far as unique stories goes, yours is pretty up there. The trash took itself out. Let this be something you feel, grieve, and learn from. Could you imagine being married, having children, and then this happens? Wild. I'm so sorry you're hurting up. I hope you heal. So sorry. She is a psycho. Hopefully her new husband dumps her ass. When that likely happens, brace yourself for her coming crying back begging forgiveness. Yeah, no. Just no. This happened to my ex. The girl he was completely in love with before me broke up with him by getting married to her roommate. So it's plausible. Ducked up as hell, but it happens. Messed him up, ended up messing up our relationship/marriage. She still reached out to him 12 years later to mess with him. Not my problem anymore. But if she reaches out, be wary. This is top tier cheating. I hope you get all the help you are going to need. People can be monsters. Man, the lengths that PPA will reach to keep a lie going. Goodness. How do I express myself without being kicked off this site? WTF. Talk about a mentally unstable nutcase. And she was cheating on AP also. He has to be steaming also, and thinking, I gotta get out of this marriage. What a sloppy pig cunt. She needs to be hung upside down in a forest with grizzlies, with her face and body sucked in fish kill. After the debacle I stayed, and this is what happened to me. Advice. When she woke up she says I'm seeing someone else. A little background info, we had been married for 13 years. She was my best friend, no real issues I knew of, plus our sex life was great. So I thought. Anyway, she tells me about the affair and I go into a bad tailspin of anger, depression and all of the above. I decided to stay and work it out. She did all the right things needed, so I did not divorce her. Took me 3 years to get over it for the most part. Here is where it got weird for me. Because I thought of it so much, I started to somewhat get excited about envisioning it happening. I have read that because of not wanting to be hurt again, you allow this type of thinking to happen as long as it's under your control. Long story short, I wanted her to have sexual interludes with some friends. She said no at first, but I pushed the issue. Now I'm sure most of you are saying WTF, why would you do that? My answer is I don't know what happened to me, why I became like this. It's perplexing to say the least, but it is real. I never in my wildest dreams ever thought I would be into this, but it happened. She won't duck them, but she will fondle and do some other things I won't go into. Has this ever happened to anyone out there? I never asked to feel this way. I really don't understand it. I wish I didn't feel this way, but I do. I know it's wrong and I'm not proud of it. Please tell me why this intrigues me. Have you considered seeing a therapist? This definitely might be trauma related. We have seen a therapist. Not we. You. Individual therapy is something you both need. Her to understand how she became a cheater and how to avoid it, you for understanding and getting past betrayal trauma. Marriage counseling or group therapy does not engender the same kind of thinking or growth as individual therapy. Thank you for this. Okay. Have you brought the issue up with a therapist? Your situation is not ideal and may likely lead to frustration and misery. Yes, of course, that is why we went there. Wasn't a big fan. Still looking. Sounds like a severe bout of PTSD. You should seek some treatment. This doesn't really seem much different than someone who was raped and become extremely promiscuous as to put themselves in a similar situation as the rape, but with the hope to control it. Very common with sexual trauma. It's about you feeling the loss of control and wanting to take that power back. I suspect your subconscious mind believes your wife will cheat again, and this is the deal you set up with yourself. In this situation, at least you won't have the shock of finding out she cheated again. It stops you from feeling the powerlessness that we all feel. It's an unspoken compromise you are making with your wife to maintain control of your agency. Thing is, you still don't get what you want, which is a faithful spouse, and also there is no guarantee she won't cheat again. Cheating is the product of a person's character, it has nothing to do with who they are with. Seems you have internalized the shame that is common at first. But again, her cheating says nothing of your worth, and you don't have to be the guy who lets her wife be with other men, even if this way seems easier. Go get some help from someone who specializes in affair trauma. Also read the book, Cheating in a Nutshell. Even love, if you have to kill yourself emotionally to be with someone, is not worth it. There is a better life out there if you want it. You're right. Dude, it's gonna suck, but you are gonna have to deal with the fact that your wife did this terrible thing to you. Just gonna have to feel the feels. All of this takes courage. But you gotta do it. Look at this board, man. Most of us, men and women, posting on here were cheated on. I was cheated on by someone who I proposed to. In my mind, we were at the apex of our relationship. It was soul crushing at the time. Decades later, you know what I think that says about me most? I was naive and willing to overlook red flags. But that's all. I loved that girl with a love that was pure and deep. That is to my credit. Yours too. We are no different than most people in this world. It's a rare person who isn't cheated on. We loved someone. There can be no failure in that. It only becomes a failure when you allow that love to trap you and make you afraid. When you allow those people to abuse you. You hurt your own character when you allow the innocent to be harmed, and you are doing that now because you are the innocent one in this story. Instead of trying to control these feelings in this twisted way that only hurts both of you, accept them and feel them openly. Trust me, you will survive. It's like cancer, the cure is gonna suck, but you need to go through it or you die. I also think you should really start to look at all your options. Detach for a while. Go talk to a lawyer. Learn to be alone and feel comfortable. Empower yourself again. Really face this thing and what you are feeling. It's okay to do that, you will be alright, I promise. I suspect at one point one of your greatest dreams was to have a faithful, monogamous wife who was your partner and most importantly your fan. That is what all us guys want. You don't have to give up on that, just because this happened. But this woman may not be that person. Look at this board, so many people here want that too. For so many women on here, that is what they want too. They are out there. One thing is for sure, you are not going to have that with a wife that is ducking your friends. Sorry to be blunt, but that is what this is. I suspect you really don't want to be that guy, and your wife cheating on you does not relegate you to being that guy. That is a lie you are telling yourself. But, you can relegate yourself to being that guy if you won't feel the pain and push through it. Duck that, go get some help. Have courage to believe in yourself and your future. You deserve better than this. You do. I'm telling you. Stop what you are doing and go get some help. Read that book. Wow, you're right on so many levels. It's been about a year since we've done anything like what I was talking about. She has been by my side and I have not caught her in any lie or mistrust in 10 years. We want to stick together and we are, but I actually feel no pain from what she did anymore. Now, if something were to happen behind my back, it would be over. I do hate what that situation has turned me into. Thanks for your words. Just because you feel no pain at the moment doesn't mean you are healed though. Given your post history, you are obviously very active on the hot wife boards. It's related to trauma, control and pain management. I have a theory that it's a form of bargaining in the fourth phase of grief. It's likely not healthy for her, you or your marriage. Keep in mind others can get hurt too. Disordered sexual expression may continue to escalate unless you take action. It's good you're opening up here. I'd encourage you to get help with a therapist skilled in infidelity, trauma and sexual matters. You might also do a deep dive into grief to help you articulate feelings and form your thinking properly. Hard to find the right one, but I must try. I never asked for this. I hate it. I understand. The fantasies and actual exploration seem to have bridged a short-term need to rejoin. When you say you hate it, I think you're admitting a serious misalignment between where you, both, are in the heat of the moment and where you'd like to be. A good next step is to lay all this out with your wife. Perhaps she can resist indulging, and help reorient you back to her heart. That'll require purposeful discipline and leadership on her part. It intrigues you because on some perverse level you believe you are in control. This is a fallacy. We can't control the actions of others, only our reactions to them. You think that she is only fondling and doing other things, because that is what you are comfortable with believing. She's probably done more, but isn't telling you to avoid hurting you / keeping the peace. What will you do if she develops feelings for one of these people or one day sits you down and tells you she wants to open the marriage? Probably not too much, unlike women who are very afraid of rape or having survived it fantasizing about getting raped. Likely, because it's something that happened to you, and not in your control, so try to get some kind of control over it. Need a therapist. Just because you like something or it turns you on now doesn't mean it's healthy for you. What's wrong is she broke you, it's that simple. Some people are saying swingers clubs, but I wouldn't trust her at them, or to keep you informed she would still probably cheat in an open marriage. How do you know this is the only time she cheated? Did she tell you everything and cut contact with app? You found a way to fall in love with the circumstance causing your suffering. The emotion that was the feeling component of your suffering has become the energy that fuels your pleasure. It's actually quite a mature emotional transcendence in my opinion. If there is any shame, you can transmute that also. It may get very weird though by traditional standards, but it's your mind, your body, and your emotional energy. As others have pointed out, there is a control component in this, but it seems to me more that you are, in a way, participating in your wife's infidelity fetish. Everyone else on here is uncomfortable with this because they are projecting their pain and suffering onto your situation. They are judging you in the same way their egos are judging them, which is causing their suffering. Keep an eye on the shame though. Remember that the ego will judge you based on how it has been conditioned to judge you to control you, for example keep you in your programmed lane. You are now degrading your wife due to her awful choices. She told you she was not comfortable, but you pushed the issue. She is trying to repent for her sins, so she is participating. You are now her abuser and taking part in her sexual abuse. Almost like a pimp or sexual trafficker. Her actions were malicious in hurting your relationship, but you are evil and a monster. Hopefully she has the means and courage to leave you. I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with you. I think Hop just needs a better way of coping. He's not a monster, he's just hurting. If I'm wrong and he is a monster, it is one of her making. Either way, Hop needs counseling for better coping mechanisms. Typical. Do you think I wanted to be this way? I'm trying to find out WTF is happening and why I feel this way. The hurt and pain was worse than death. I'm not a monster, I'm a family man and have been married now for 24 years. We are still together and still love each other. I was asking for anyone that has had a similar experience. Not as Haming thank you. This is real. I'm not trying to get a rise out of anyone. But you apparently see it that way. He claims I was an abuser, I was a doormat. Rant. We had been together 4.5 years, both of us were 28. This past year during lockdown he was cheating on me with a girl who is married with an infant. I saw the signs and I begged him to tell me what was going on. He was obsessive and secretive with his phone and would barely give me the time of day. I took him to a relationship counselor. He resisted this until I said this was my last-ditch attempt to fix this relationship and he agreed to go. I told him if he wanted to get anything off his chest, now was the time to do it before going to counseling so we could work on it. During those months he came home with his back covered in scratches and claimed he did it himself. He lied about meeting so many women behind my back, whether it was sexual or not. I've spoken to one of these women and she promised me there was nothing sexual going on between them, but the fact he was lying about meeting someone, who he claimed to me was a home wrecker, for 2 years behind my back was obviously a huge issue. She and I are now civil as a result of him lying about both of us to the other to cover the lies. His friends claim I was abusive to him. I let him live in this flat rent-free for the past 1.5 years. I wanted to start a family with him and he said he wanted that too. I would make him lunch while he worked from home and I cleaned the house on my days off work, but his friends have been told I never pulled my weight and he did everything. I was not allowed to be concerned for his alcohol problem while these people mocked him for it behind his back. They said I wasn't good enough for him and it was my fault he cheated. The worst part is he still will not tell me the truth. He will not admit to them he's been trying to get back together with me. He is adamant he did not have sex with anyone else while we were together, as if all of the other betrayals I have found out from everyone else wasn't reason enough to keep him away from me. He claims he still loves me. He claims he's miserable without me. He's only interested in what I can do for him. He doesn't care about making any of this right or giving me the closure I'm begging for. If I were that bad, why stay? Leaving would have been the kindest thing to do, but he let me believe we had a future together while cheating for an entire year. I'm not sure where to go from here. It's been 2 months. Grey Rock and 180. He can't give you what you need. Have you kicked him out yet? Tell him you need space to recover as an excuse to get him to move. You're dating a serial cheater. He won't stop serial cheating. It'll be a short time until your next D-Day. He surrounds himself with terrible people with no accountability. 180 and Grey Rock to your own personal freedom and emotional happiness. Yeah, I kicked him out 2 months ago because a lie trickled out of him about meeting up with someone else behind my back. During the weeks he was out of the house, more and more people told me what he was doing and saying behind my back, but none of them thought it was relevant to tell me this when it started. I can't take him back after all he's done. I just wish he would have told me the truth when I pleaded with him to. He was only intending to cover his own ass, never to avoid me being hurt like he had claimed. People who didn't tell you the truth are not your friends. Cut them out of your life too and start fresh. Surround yourself with people who help you feel like the best version of yourself. Raise his hand. I'm another doormat being accused of abuse. He's a narcissist. He ran a smear campaign on you. But now he's trying to get back together and he'll claim other people said those things, not him. Narcissists do this. Part of the reason for the smear campaign is so they can get you back whenever they like and keep abusing you. It doesn't make sense at first, because why would they smear you to get you back? They do it because you're already in a vulnerable emotional state during the breakup. Smearing you adds extra humiliation, removes support due to friends believing the smear, and makes you even more vulnerable. Then he can come along and tell you he loves you and needs you, and if you just go back to him, the smear campaign and the pain will stop. That's exactly what he's trying to do to you. The best thing you can do is go full no contact. I know it's very painful now. I divorced a narcissist after a 20-year marriage. It is not fun. But I promise you it will get better. No contact has been helping me heal immensely. You figured him out. He doesn't care about making any of this right, he doesn't. It's great that you realize that. That's you starting to heal. Cut him off completely and it will continue. It will get better. Yes, this is exactly it. He's thrown her way off balance because normal people don't behave this way. She will never get the closure or validation she needs. Don't try to figure it out. Just look at the behaviors, and if other people don't see it, it's because they don't want to know. They're enjoying the drama and will get over it at some point and move on to the next big drama that excites them, to get their kicks. No contact is the only good option, as you said. Forget he ever existed. The terms narcissist and sociopath get thrown around this sub on a frequent basis. Whatever definition your ex-partner fits, he truly didn't care about your feelings, mental health, or using you for material comfort. The support that you gave him deserves gratitude, or at least acknowledgement. You mentioned in an earlier exchange that your mental health has not been great. Given what you described, it is hard not to have your mental defenses worn down to dust. I have an older mentor/now great friend that is now 40 years happily married. The way they speak about each other, out of earshot, is touching. The best piece of advice he gave me about relationships was love is not about soulmates, lust, personal fulfillment, or money. The most important aspect of any relationship is feeling comfortable and safe when you get home and close the door. It is about knowing the person on the other side of the door is happy to see you and always has your back. Your partner failed this test with a 0. His father Bill, real name, also my friend, was an amazing man. His wife was wheelchair-bound the last 6 years of her life, and he took care of her every day until she passed at a young age. At her memorial, I casually mentioned to Bill that his dedication to her was touching, and he simply said, "Well, she took care of me for many years." Would your ex pass the wheelchair test? The better men and women I know would. Not shockingly, he later found another woman equal to his character who took care of him, end of life, with a fast-moving cancer. Bill is not exemplary. He is the standard of basic fidelity and human decency. It appears you have not had this kind of security in your life for a long time. I would respectfully suggest that you not entertain having this person back in your life in his current condition. Imagine someone you love telling you what you just wrote. What would say to them? Is what you're describing really love? Do you love yourself? Honestly, I don't love myself. I've struggled with depression on and off for years. During the pandemic I was actually doing alright until all of his shit came to light. It's made me question the entire relationship I had with him, because I was never more important than these friends who have branded me an abuser. I know I'm better off without someone like him in my life, but I'm unsure what I'm doing with my life now as a result. And that's okay, because you recognize what the issues are. Consider working on you and not the relationship. Learning who you are, what you love, and why you ate great. Let them call you whatever they want, but you must live your truth. You only have one life, heart. Go no contact. What you are describing is NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. What you said is correct. He would have left if you were bad, but you were providing supply. Unfortunately, only with really intense therapy can people with this condition be any more than vampires, sucking you dry of emotion, money, etc. There are some great books about this. They have zero empathy, and emo couldn't love someone like a normal human ever. Run. Run far away. There is a wonderful guy waiting out there for you. Heal yourself. A therapist that specializes in narcissistic abuse would be great. As someone who was married to someone with this, use all the tools you can and trust me, you'll be so much happier. He is a garbage, so leaving him is the best option. This has happened to me. I was the primary breadwinner for most of our relationship, sometimes working 2 jobs to make ends meet, and I was also the one cooking and cleaning and taking care of the animals. He could ignore and neglect me whenever I wanted, but God forbid I took time for myself and forgot to read his mind and tend to his emotions when he wanted it. And as soon as I got too sick to do my already unfair share, he proudly went after a girl 10 years younger. Not even of drinking age. Proudly told me that I was abusive, and that he would never stop cheating on me because he liked it. They're not worth analyzing. Their minds are ephemera, all sound and fury, signifying nothing. The only way to go is to leave him. Sorry this is happening to you. It sounds very similar to my story. They won't ever change, nor will they admit to what they've done. They will not give you closure, so give yourself closure and walk away from him. Be thankful you don't have kids together. I didn't have kids with my cheater but wanted desperately to. Now I see it as a blessing that we didn't have kids. Are you married to him? If you are, get yourself a lawyer and plan your exit. Don't be me and stay with an abusive cheater. What he's doing to you is abuse. I wish I didn't stay with my cheater so long. I gave him too many chances and in the end he got half my house. That was a huge financial blow to me and he did not deserve a cent of anything he got from me. I beg you to please walk away from this man before you lose so much more. I'm lucky I walked away without an STD, to be honest. Save your life and leave this cheater, and have nothing to do with those good-for-nothing friends. They are not for you, they are against you. Please read Tracy Shawn's book Leave a Cheater, Gain a Life. It will help give you clarity and help you formulate an exit plan. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.